Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome, to all of you in the community of the Word joining us for today's deep meditation.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
So, we are looking at the recent Sunday sermon at Hong Kong Cheil Church. And I just want to say, even if you happen to miss it, don't worry. These insights are absolutely vital for everyone.
Oh, for sure. It is totally relevant right now.
Because, well, usually when we talk about growth, especially spiritual growth, we tend to think in terms of adding stuff.
Right, like downloading another Bible app or something.
Exactly. Adding a daily habit, reading more, basically stacking bricks to build this highly visible house.
Yeah, doing more.
But this message completely flipped that architecture on its head.
It really did. I mean, we are stepping into what the church calendar calls ordinary time.
Which is symbolized by the color green, right?
Yeah, green for intense, sustained growth. But the core message wasn't about adding flashy new programs to, manufacture that growth.
So it's not about doing more.
No, not at all. It's actually about returning to the words of Jesus by going up the mountain. True spiritual growth requires us to aggressively strip things away.
Well, to climb that mountain, we first have to figure out who Jesus is actually inviting up there.
Right, which is a massive question.
Because honestly, looking at the Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes, it is so intimidating. I mean, turning the other cheek,
Yeah,
giving away your cloak.
it's an intense standard.
It feels like being told to run an ultra marathon without a single day of training. I always kind of felt like this impossible standard was meant strictly for the spiritual elites, like just the 12 disciples or something.
Well, what's fascinating here is how history actually backed you up on that assumption for a long time.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Throughout the Middle Ages, the prevailing thought was that these teachings were strictly for monks, priests, or just the most devoted leaders. But the text itself completely shatters that. Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 and 2 explicitly states, "Now when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them."
Okay, so wait. He saw the crowds first.
Exactly. So the target audience isn't some curated inner circle, it's the crowd.
So ordinary people worried about their rent, what to eat, their basic survival.
Exactly. It's an invitation to anyone feeling empty.
But that raises a massive logistical problem, because if you're stuck in the middle of a huge pushing crowd, you can't actually internalize a life-altering teaching.
No, it's just pure noise.
Right, so to actually hear this impossible standard, you have to figure out how to step out of that noise.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, that transition moving from the noisy crowd to becoming a quiet listener is exactly what the sermon mapped out, using this brilliant parallel from Exodus 33.
Oh, right, where God tells the Israelites to take off their ornaments.
Yeah. They had just survived this massive failure of worshiping the golden calf. So God says, take off the ornaments. And Moses takes his tent and pitches it far outside the camp.
He called it the tent of meeting.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that detail about the ornaments really caught me. We're not talking about taking off a watch before a shower. When they left Egypt, that gold was their emergency fund.
Right, it was their physical security.
So God asking them to remove it is basically asking them to liquidate their safety net. What do earrings have to do with spiritual growth?
Well, remember what they did with that safety net while Moses was away?
Oh.
Yeah, they melted it down to build the idol. The mechanism here is so crucial. Those ornaments weren't just pretty jewelry, they were a psychological crutch.
I see.
When you wear your backup plan, your brain constantly relies on it instead of trusting the unknown. Stripping off the gold isn't God punishing them for being vain.
It's a necessary psychological reset.
Exactly. You physically remove the symbol of your self-reliance, so your mind has no choice but to refocus.
It's like going on a silent retreat, but leaving your phone in your pocket.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Like, even if it doesn't ring, just feeling the physical weight of it against your leg keeps you anchored to your anxieties, your emails. You haven't really detached until you hand the phone over.
Which perfectly explains why Moses had to physically move his tent outside the camp, too.
Oh, because the camp was the crowd?
Yes. That spatial separation is key. The camp was the center of their daily grind, their disputes, and all that lingering tension from the idolatry.
So you cannot rewire your spiritual focus in the exact same environment that triggers your worldly anxieties.
Precisely. Taking the tent outside forces a physical break. It signals to your brain that this new space operates under completely different rules.
So what does this all mean for you, the community of the Word at Hong Kong Cheil Church today? Because obviously we aren't exactly wandering the Sinai desert covered in Egyptian gold,
No, we are.
but we absolutely wear invisible ornaments of self-reliance.
We do. And the application here is surprisingly practical. It's really just about pitching a personal tent of meeting for maybe 5 or 10 minutes a
It
day.
says 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, the goal isn't that 10 minutes of silence will magically fix your bank account or solve a health crisis.
Yeah.
The real value is that by intentionally removing your ornaments for those 10 minutes, you're actively exercising the muscle of proving to yourself that you can survive without your worldly safety nets.
Boy, you're stepping out of the crowd to actually hear the mountain's message.
Exactly. You find an unshakable inner peace.
That is so powerful. So, as you step into this green season of ordinary time, I want to leave you with this final thought to mull over.
I'm ready.
When you look at the invisible ornaments you wear every day, your professional title, your financial buffer, your need to control the outcome, which one is the hardest to unbuckle before you step into your quiet tent of meeting?